Hi, I'm Frank.
And I'm Tricia, and we're Groes on the Go. So, since this is your story, why don't you tell how we...
My story, sure. Gosh, I don't know, like 3 years ago or so, I just started watching a lot of YouTube videos about RVing, which is something I've always wanted to do, actually. So I never thought Trish would go for it, so I just kind of watched and followed and did a bunch of different kind of pushing the whole RV thing here to her. And we eventually ended up getting our first fifth wheel, which was just like a, I don't know how big it was, 28 feet, kind of toy hauler, but it was all one big unit. So that didn't last very long because I gotta have.
You don't. You're not telling the story right.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. It's our story. It's not my story. So go ahead.
So Frank has been through a lot with me. I am a recovering alcoholic, and that put him through the ringer for quite a long time. I also actually served in the legislature. So during that time, he supported me in my endeavors and helped me to find success. So I would say about 4 years or so, he was in watching videos, and I was outside laying by the pool at our forever home in Queen Creek, Arizona, that we had just remodeled. And I was contemplating moving because there were things happening in the surrounding area, and although I loved my neighbors and we loved the neighborhood, it's Arizona, so there were some pending water supply issues. And then there was also encroaching crime, and it was something that we were so unfamiliar with. We had lived there about 13 years and thought that we would retire there. But as I was contemplating moving, I didn't know where else in the world we would be happy moving. We love the Arizona weather. We love our friends. We love our church there. And we really liked our house.
Well, we had like an acre of horse property, so we had a lot of room.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really nice.
RV, garage, pool, everything. Oh, outdoor hot tub. People always ask, what's the one thing you miss?
Yeah.
I miss that hot tub. We were in there all of the time. And with the dark night skies, it was really peaceful. But anyway, we knew we were going to have to move. So I remember just being prompted, being inspired, and I walked inside and I said, "Hey, Frank, what do you think about this full time?" And he said, "That's been my dream." Who knew? You know, I mean, how does he get a word in edgewise to tell me that's his dream? But that was his dream. So we made it happen.
Yeah, it worked out. It actually worked out really well. Although, like I said, we had bought our first rig. We probably only had it 6 months before we got the first momentum.
Yes. And then had independent suspension put on that one.
The first 349M.
And promptly sold that.
To get this one.
To upgrade.
Yeah.
But I want to mention a little bit on how we transitioned, because everybody that we've encountered, we haven't heard this particular story. My dad was sick in Tennessee, and so we were camping near Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I said, "Frank," we had our home still. I said, "I'm going to call a realtor and see what we need to do to prep our home to be able to sell it." So I called, and he said, "It's perfect. You just need to empty it out." So we hired an estate sales company, and I went back for 3 days and separated everything that we were going to keep. And then the estate sales company came in and sold everything. Toiletries,
everything,
furniture,
I mean, when we left there,
tools.
Lot of tools.
When he shows you his tools, you won't believe that he actually sold any.
Oh my
because
gosh,
that's all the weight in our trailer.
well, we lived in California. We had a house there with all the tools. We had a house in Lake Havasu, which had another set of tools.
That's when I was living,
Yeah.
That's when I was
in the legislature.
serving in the legislature. So we actually had another house or apartment in Phoenix with stuff there. So we had about 3 houses worth of stuff to consolidate. He's the kind of guy, when we have garage sales, he'll sell like an alarm clock. Well, I guess that's not a good thing because they don't even make alarm clocks anymore, probably.
No alarm clock.
That's aging me. But he will sell one of something, and then he will go to the storeroom
And bring out
something else. So he has 2 or 3.
You always have to have a backup.
Yeah. So that's how we quickly downsized without hardly any emotional attachment or...
Well, it was hard to have too much emotional attachment because it went quick.
And he wasn't there.
And I wasn't even there.
He stayed in Tennessee, so
When-
he
yeah.
trusted me enough to set aside the important
When I left
things.
there, when we went to Tennessee, that was the last time I saw the house. Now, granted, when we go back to Arizona for the winter, we're just one street over from where our house was, so I could still see it. But
so that's the long story of how we got started, and how come we have so much joy today.
So you said you had another grand design before this. What was the idea in switching? You said you put independent suspension.
well, I think when we bought the 349, we weren't going full time. We didn't think about full time too much. So we had independent suspension put on it. We had, typical me, solar, the whole 9 yards, and then we had the independent suspension put on in like January, and in March we traded the whole thing in on this one because I needed to have more room.
So there, in my mind, there were a couple of factors, because he wanted additional living space. In a fifth wheel, living space is hard to come by. And so we knew that there was going to be a second rig in our future. And Frank just happens to be turning 74 on Monday.
Tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Travel day. What a birthday present.
So presents accepted.
So anyway, we knew a rig was in our future. And so I said, okay, if that's in our future, let's pull the trigger now so that he still has the energy and drive to do all of his projects like he does. Install all the solar by himself. Rewire. He's rewired the whole electrical system underneath. Put in PEX. Is it cable or lines?
PEX, the water.
Yes.
I've changed a lot of the water systems.
So I wanted him to be able to do that without really any heartache or body ache. So, or as minimal body ache as possible. So that's why we pulled the trigger so quickly afterwards.
And actually, we found this one in Nashville because we were there. But we wanted to get one that was full body paint and the different windows, the dual pane windows.
Right.
And this one happened to be there. It's the only one that was there. We got it at Lazy Days, so we ended up and they gave us a good deal on it and a good trade-in, so we did it.
And I loved it from the get-go because, as I said, we were spending a lot of time in Tennessee. My dad had passed on during that time period, and so I was helping my mom and needed to be there for my family. So the one thing that I noticed and loved first off are the larger windows. This has much larger windows than our last one. Tennessee, traditionally, you get a lot of rain, so we were kind of stuck inside for a while as I was taking care of all the paperwork on behalf of my mom. And so the big windows made a huge difference in letting the gorgeous outdoors in. The other thing that it has that we'll show you is a washer and dryer. Okay, so fairly basic kitchen here. You can see we try to collect memories of all the places that we've traveled. If we, for some reason, need a new fridge, we're just going to have to save the doors and hang them up somewhere. So this is our plan, and this is actually what we plan to kind of have our last hurrah in. So there are no plans to upgrade, although we'd like to.
I've been looking though.
Frank's one who goes for an oil change at the dealership and comes back with a new truck. So
it happens. It happens.
I never know what's going to occur. So this is a work in project. I am a big researcher, and I was very skeptical about air fryers. But I researched, and this is one of the top air fryers that you can get. It's a Breville, and we do a lot of roasted vegetables and flatbreads and stuff like that. And so this is super convenient. It heats up very quickly and then dissipates. So we took out the oven and stove in preparation. This is kind of a catch-all area. We are packing up to travel tomorrow, but we took out the oven and stove, and what we're going to do is take out the drawers that are in the island here and move them over here, and then install an 18-inch dishwasher in here, and that will be my birthday and Christmas present to me, and hallelujah, confetti will drop from the ceiling when that happens. So that's our plan for that.
Although, wait, before, I did have to install a 20 amp circuit just for that thing over here, which I had to go out of the panel, underneath, up inside, and put a special plug in because it was tripping everything.
Very blessed. Frank is a Renaissance man. He can do anything.
You are so kind.
And he'll tell you how good he is at it, except for finish work. Wood finish work, baseboards, don't ask, and don't ask, don't tell.
If you need something roughed in, I'm your guy. If you need a cabinet made, you better go elsewhere.
This is our pantry, and I have to say, we usually travel with a lot of food. And I wish that we didn't. This is a low amount for us. And I'm trying very hard to minimize that because we are at our maximum weight right now as far as what we're carrying. Funny story, I used to keep the pancake mix up here. And anybody who travels knows that things move a little bit down these horrible roads that we have in the United States. So we sometimes forget to open things slowly. And so the last time I opened this up and the pancake mix dumped, a whole bag dumped out all over my head and everything else. And Frank was sitting on the couch.
So did you get a good laugh out of that?
I did.
He did. He did.
I did. I was right here. Saw the whole thing happen.
So anyway, we've taken out the couch because one of the things, the couch that it came with is Frank likes to kind of lay down and watch a little TV. So this couch was IKEA and it works well for us. Okay, two things that I want to show off that are kind of fun for us is the map that we have. Our last name is Groe, so we're Groes on the go. And this has map pins in it, and it's marked where we've traveled so far now. But the other thing that really makes a big deal to us is this digital frame that we have right here. And we put it in a place that we can, that we see it very often. We sit here, we eat our yogurt in the morning and watch our YouTube videos that all of our other full-timing friends do. So I have it right there so that I get connection to my friends and family, and I even put like motivational quotes on there to try to get me to get up and move and look for the positive stuff in life.
All right, so back here in the garage slash office slash cat area, we had 2 desks. We kind of got this from Changing Lanes, where they put desks on both sides, and we decided we didn't need 2, so we're just going to come. We have this side. As soon as I retire here at the end of this year, hopefully, we'll probably take this one out too. I'm not doing any more computer programming for as long as I live. But this is where we have we keep the 2 electric bikes on the sides here, strapped up against the wall, and then the motorcycle comes right in here, and we have a biker bar. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yep.
We have the biker bar here, so it just rolls right in and locks in, and we're ready to go. This is our back bathroom that we actually took the shower out,
I've seen a lot of
put the shelving, and we put some stuff there. And this is the cat's bathroom.
Yep.
This is pretty much a catch-all. I keep some of my vacuum cleaner stuff in there, extra sunglasses, you know, various different tools that he uses to connect everything.
Yes.
And this is one of my favorites from IKEA. And it's bolted to the wall, and it's just our shoe. It holds our
It just
shoes.
fit right in there too. I mean, right against.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you find something perfect to fit there.
We are true Arizonans, and we hate to feel any humidity whatsoever. So we travel with 2 dehumidifiers.
2 of those big guys.
And they're just packed up now since we're getting ready to leave. But we use those quite a bit. We love them. For my birthday last year, my mom gave me an Amazon gift certificate, and I bought the kitties a traditional cat climbing tree
thing. Yeah.
And what we noticed is that the cats were just using it to actually step up and get into the upper bunk here, which we use as a storage area. We remove the mattress and use that as a storage area. So Frank took the cat tree apart and redesigned it so that it's basically steps for them to get up, and we have storage space underneath, valuable storage space underneath.
I have to recarpet it, but I had to reinforce this whole bottom of this because the first couple of times the whole thing was coming apart.
So tell them what you have up there.
Yeah,
that's our tech cabinet, I guess.
Yeah.
There's the PEP Wave router, and then there's a UPS. This is what I use for work right here, this thing. But it's all up inside of here. And then I actually put in one of those mesh systems in here, that little round.
Yep.
So I have one there, there's one in the front, and then we carry one in the truck when we're traveling.
Yeah.
So it picks it up from back all the way up. So it works pretty well.
Nice.
This is my new thing put in.
Yep.
The water.
Yep.
That's why the blue tape.
The blue tape's here. That's where the hole's going. I put this stuff in here. This is all of the Victron stuff. The surge guard. When we first got this here was right in the center, so I just got a piece of 1/4 inch plastic, cut the new holes, and
That's nice.
put it in there. Yeah, it worked out pretty well.
So how much solar do you guys have up there?
1,260 watts.
1,260
210
watts.
each, or 6 panels.
That used to be on our shed in
Queen Creek.
Arizona.
Yeah.
My parents got that as an anniversary present for us, so we stuck it
So
up
we
there.
stuck it up there.
So a couple things with the bathroom. It's a fairly basic bathroom, but we wanted to get rid of some weight. And also we heard that people were running into their shower doors cracking. So Frank removed it, and he did a really good job in removing it. And then we have just this sliding
That thing's great.
door
We've had that for like 2 years.
here. So very lightweight. And then I'm a big Goodwill thrift shopper, and so he let me add a pop of color with my blue right there. Okay, and so here's the bedroom, fairly basic. This came outfitted for a king-size bed, and we had a queen-size mattress that we really liked. So Frank was handy enough to cut down the platform a little bit And now it fits our queen size mattress. And here is our washer and dryer there that we've come to love so very much. Frank took the larger TV from the back and installed it here so that
I couldn't see that the menu was too far away and I couldn't see what it was saying.
our
Does
eyes
that sound familiar?
I know, it's ridiculous.
our eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So one thing here is I really tried to decorate and make things look homey. So I had a whole spread, treasure box with treasures from where we've been, shells from Bradenton Beach, Florida. I had, we're big NASCAR fans. So I had a lug nut from when we got to drive around Charlotte Motor Speedway in the dually and all of that stuff. But we've recently purchased a 1,000 Trails membership, and that paperwork is just being filed right now. And so what I'm trying to do is make our setup and breakdown much easier, because we plan to move now every 2 to 3 weeks. Whereas before, when we've traveled, we've tried to stay like a month, 4 to 6 weeks at places. So a lot of my little tchotchkes I have retired at my grandmother's house for now, until we get accustomed and see how this new fairly big change is going to be. Because I think at this point now, Frank's going to take you outside and show you some of his handiwork.
All these little kind of deals I added, I guess, the slide out trays, all of my chargers over here for the, and it's crazy, but I used to have Milwaukee stuff and I changed to Ryobi because I don't build houses now. I just occasionally drill a hole, and it's just easier to have the batteries, and they're less. And anyhow, I went Ryobi. Yep. For anybody that's going to criticize. I put these little latches on here. Saw this on YouTube instead of the little twisty things.
Yeah,
the
nice.
Gas stops. There's for the disc brake, or the disc brakes, the controller. So up inside here is all of they got 6 Battleborn batteries underneath there, all bus barred together.
And he made all that. He did all that work there himself.
Yeah, I just bought the bus bar, cut them, put shrink wrap on them,
Nice.
and then bolted. And then this particular style of their battery, the GC2s, I think, because you can have the weight, rather than on the other battery would have never been able to do this.
Yes.
So I went with that. I got all the Victron stuff in here. Back here, I put, I don't know if you notice probably on yours or a lot of them, they have, from the factory, they have that little bus bar thing with some resettable fuses on it. I took all that stuff out of there and put circuit breakers in, right up in this corner.
And
Very
one of the
clean
things,
install.
Yeah, it works well. It took a while to lay it out in here.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, it really did.
It's like
but
Tetris in there.
there's a lot. And then again, this adds weight as well. Fortunately, these aren't super heavy, but still.
we think about sometimes maybe getting rid of the generator, because that would allow us to lose some weight.
Yeah, I mean, we very seldom turn that on.
Yeah. With the solar that we have and the way that we camp, we just don't find that we use it.
A fellow Gen Y hitch owner.
Yep. Went to the Gen Y, gosh, about over a year ago.
How do you like it?
It's a great hitch. I mean, it is.
We love ours.
I don't know why. I think I would have probably got, instead of going this route, I would have used the
gooseneck.
The gooseneck.
Yep.
So tell them what you did with the lights as far as separating the lights.
Oh, I got that from Chad changing lanes.
You don't have to mention that.
Well, yeah, but if he sees this, he's going to know that I got it from him. I got it from him. He showed how how he went in and actually the lights underneath and the lights on the front cap are the same.
Yep.
And on the one control, they only have 2 places that you can actually hook up like a color change thing, and they're both being used, one inside, one outside. Yep. So he just cut the negative to the front and put it on a switch. So
walk him around here and show him another one of my favorite things that you did as far as the water shut off.
Then we did go to the blue technology, water softener and filters on this.
So,
I like them. They're
You like that?
they're. I love the soft water.
Oh yeah.
You're not overly thrilled with it, but I like it.
I can't tell when I get all the conditioner out of my hair, so that's my problem. But I'll compromise.
I'll check for you.
But he's going to show you. We have had issues where twice, not this particular rig, but our other rig, we flooded it.
So I found I looked around to see who made a valve without going too crazy with it. So Yolink makes this valve, all part of their system, and I can control this from our phone. I can turn it on and off, and you can do it no matter where you are. It'll just hook up to the Wi-Fi.
That's the battery backup there.
Yeah.
So Yolink, they have that valve, and then they have the water detectors.
The water leak detectors.
That we have placed in various areas inside and outside the rig. And so we're really happy with that system. And it...
and you set it up so if it detects a leak, it will turn the water off.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, I have to say. And it wasn't really expensive, I mean, considering.
And that's one of the things that's really, it's enriched our life.
Yeah, gosh.
I mean, it's, who would have thought?
I know, but it's just,
Gives you peace of mind.
it's crazy, yeah.
And convenient.
Well, actually, another thing, I mean, on all of the water lines going to faucets and the toilet, I put shut-off valves on. Screens,
The bug screens, yeah.
and then I put a screen behind this one.
I didn't even know that.
Heck yeah, I'm telling you. Come on, baby. So I put this screen back here.
Oh, nice.
Put a little touch on it and
that's a
here
great
so
idea.
they can't get
Yeah.
in. Coming back this
So
way,
you got the
it's
flagpole, buddy.
the flagpole. Last year here at the rally, I got the light and the blinking red, white, and blue light.
So one thing that I'd like to say, when you're out here and you can see it's triple axle, it's a fairly long rig, 43 to 44 feet, and I think we measure 13.6 feet.
I think 5, but who's
13.5,
counting?
6.
Well, I guess it could matter.
With our dually, it's a long rig. But you know what? I want to say this for all the ladies. I drive this. I drive this about 70% of the time. And I love it. And it pulls with that dually so smooth, it's like butter. It's actually really fun to drive. And I just want to encourage women, I want to encourage anybody that's intimidated. You can do it. Just take it slow. And that's what I do if I get into a tight situation.
I don't know. We touched a little on the solar, but there's six solar panels up there. They're 210 watt. They're made by High Tech, and they run all 6 down one side. And I put them on Unistrut. You know what the Unistrut is? Yep. Yeah. You should. Yeah, you would. So there's Unistrut running, so I can just bolt them onto the strut, and the strut stays there, and I don't have to worry about it. So it's a great way to do it. I wish I could have found aluminum strut, aluminum instead of the steel Unistrut, and I think you can. It's just a fortune.
So that's been plenty of solar for you guys?
Well, I mean, it works. It would be nice to have more, but for us and what we do, the 600 amps of lithium and the 1260 watts of solar, it works out. I mean, we can spend a night somewhere, 1 or 2 nights. Well, we can spend the whole night and run off the batteries. It goes down to maybe 50%, and we don't change what we're doing, other than maybe the air. You got to be careful with the air conditioning.
So
but the next day, if the sun comes out the next day, they charge right back up. So it's pretty nice.
So right now, you know, we've done harvest hosts and, you know, stayed at some fairly neat places for harvest hosts. And then we do like onesie overnights at a Cracker Barrel. That's usually, we don't normally stay in a campground just for one night. So we'll do Cracker Barrels.
Yeah.
We haven't ever branched out anything from that. But so the solar that we have works for how we camp.
Yeah.
The other thing is if we were going to put on more solar, I would have to say that we would have to give up something else, because that does. I didn't take into calculation how much weight that adds to the rig, and that definitely is a factor.
Especially with the Unistrut. I mean, there's 60 feet of Unistrut up there. 10 footers. There's 6 of them. I mean, that's not light. It's not super heavy, but every little bit adds up. So between that and the 6 panels and all the nuts and bolts and everything else that go together, it just adds weight to it. So
yeah,
I can't give up anything else. Oh, we do. Underneath the back there, I put 2 extra of the sewer hose. They put 2 extras in there, and then the square one is our ladder. This one right here. It's one of those ladders that actually fold in together, so it's only square, about that big. Yeah, and it fit right inside that thing. So I have extra. I mean, I don't probably need 3 of those, but I put other stuff in there. There's a flagpole. And
I like it when it's like this. I like it to, or a little bit cooler. I like to use it for just airflow through. And then, of course, because it makes the ramp, it's perfect for our trike, to get the trike on and off, or the electric bikes.